snuffs out that little window of opportunity.
Vermeulen hammering that inside ball to Aaron Reid was on, wasn't it? It just didn't quite come about. Vermeulen did enough. Reid was in.
Du Preez bounces off the back of a tumbling Roots. Quirk onto the other Du Preez. This Jean-Luc determined to have another outing, all two in Sale colours before he heads to pastures new. Brother Rob, snared by Townsend, manages to keep the ball alive quite wonderfully. Quirk picking out Dan du Preez, past Luke, past Rob. It's a family affair, this one, and Marcy White scampering and dancing, and that is an absolute blinder. The breakthrough, breakaway tyro. 4 tries in his last 4 outings. What a season for Ricky Marcy White.
Really, really nicely played. Marcy White is breathing deep now. Looks like he's just finished England training. Sucking in the big ones. But actually really nice.
Marmion over the top, Revovo. Carpenter's tackle. Harding to Genge. And the ball, was that slapped away?
Oh, okay, it's got advantage then.
Knocked forwards by Sale, so Bristol have a knock-on advantage here.
Advantage. Do you want the scrum up here?
Max Laheath. Big fend from Laheath. Harry Byrne. Ford waiting and feeding Quirk. Lovely step from Quirk. And now he accelerates and he's weaving through everybody. There's that little spark of magic. Sale now surely putting the game to bed and tearing onwards towards the playoffs.
Well, again, it's Ford's positioning. Reads the play, knows what's coming. Poor kick over the top, just too much on it. Ford's there, knows he's going to get hit. That's the call. O'Flaherty's up, can he get a hand on it? Yes, causes the problems.
Charlie Clare's come on for Julian Montoya. Leicester changing their hookers with a match to be won here, still by both sides. Here goes du Preez. Oh, he's going to score, Rob du Preez! And he races back to halfway, demanding more. And now Northwest voices.
Wow, what a player. There's O'Flaherty.
Good, thank you.
Freddie Stewart again. 2 fullbacks tonight, Freddie Stewart and Joe Carpenter. Amongst the best in the world at diffusing those flying bombs.
Use it.
Talking to Peter Hewitt, Leicester's backs and attack coach, in a second or two.
Thank you.
Du Preez.
Nothing formed.
Still Dan du Preez down there. Ford accelerating onto the ball, cutting through. Reid's an option. Reid's gone. Once more, the mesmerising, magical work of George Ford to open doors.
Thank you.
What a response from George Ford. He's been outstanding tonight.
When you're looking to
Just holding the ball, pumping all the time, offering options. Gives it to a forward carrier now. Little show, am I going to give it?
Martin injured, missing out on the big one. Hill gathering high, another second row who's nearing his best again. Du Preez.
No clear lift.
Dan du Preez with Jean-Luc off. Ford quickly to Carpenter, and here goes Reid.
Backwards, play on.
Beyond Bamba to Rod. Curry. And du Preez and Marcy White, and he cuts in field, and he will score. It's a masterclass in attacking rugby from both sides. And the Sharks bite back.
I think they're just going to check whether the Leicester defenders were held by the decoy line here.
I think he's okay. I think he doesn't
that's
touch
all right.
anyone.
It doesn't really, it's a decision.
Out of 10, lads. Mara, out of 10. Out of 10.
As good as this, nobody challenging him. Daly's got it, and links nicely with Burke. Ezekwe waiting. Instead, it's for Willis. Roebuck brings him down, but the inside ball is good. Burke is there again. Moore trying desperately to slow up possession. Earl to Itoje. Sale might just be asking themselves why nobody got in the way of Elliot Daly gathering that high ball. Here's Jamie George. Lays it up for Van Sale. Tompkins, bang. Ben Bamba and Jean-Luc du Preez ending that little excursion. Carre. Itoje just ran past it. Knocked the ball on the process. Sale ball.
The error count has been huge. Partly that will be the psychology of how this game's gone so far, but they've got to sort this out.
No clearance kick. They're going through the hands, and Reed is going inside and outside Tompkins, and then past Angus Hall. And here's Aaron Reed, still going strong. Nobody will catch him from there. The celebration early. Sale have 3. Saracens cut to ribbons.
That could well go down as the try of the season. What a finish this is. Everyone's exhausted on the field, apart from that man, and he's got all the wheels. They spot the opportunity, they get the ball out to him, steps on the inside, then the outside, beats Tompkins and a foul.
Tizard. Rod again. Very often leading that first line of defence tight to the ruck. Hartley probing in the backfield. And Ford just does enough to get that away to Carpenter, who'll take him on now. And Roebuck is on the right, and he's opening up here. Roebuck back in field. Carpenter there, and they're working brilliantly together. Roebuck once more into the 22, linking superbly, and George Ford has it. That is quite brilliant from Sale. And if you want to chart the rise of the Sale Sharks attacking plan, here it is.
Well, it comes from a load of good defence, big shots going in. Saracens can't get anywhere. How about this, though?
A likely England tour place. That's gone almost straight up in the air from Gus Ward. Turns it into a decent kick, though, and Ford is away, exploiting a small hole. Marcy White drives into the 22. Poku for jaw, a little loose, gathered in by du Preez. Ford again, little dummy showed the ball, Ford through, Reed on his shoulder, brilliant from Sale. Marcy White into the corner. And if that doesn't serve notice
it's all kicked off
to Saracens and everybody else, I'm not sure what will. Mass pile-up.
I'll tell you what, that's as tasty a little scuffle as we've seen for a long time. Players still pumped up beginning of the game. And it means a lot. Sale have started hyper-aggressively in terms of their tackling, their ball carrying. Just the emotions boil over.
Well, that's their bonus point score. So they'll take something away, and at the moment they will take 2 points away from this contest. But still plenty to play out in the next 3 minutes. Alex Sanderson's face suggestive of a director of rugby who's wondering why they're making life so difficult for themselves here. The crossfield kick picked out by Anderson. Interesting play from the 22. They've secured possession, which is all important. And they need to hang on to that ball as long as they can. Oh, that's loose, and it's swept up, and it's game over. Tom Roebuck. Quinn's chasing the game. Sale shutting them down.
Quinn's chasing the game. Sale wondering if they've gone too early, if they've quite got the stamina to hang on. It's all in the balance, and they are gifted.
I think he facilitates other players better than any other 10, and I almost include Finn Russell in that.
So it's Reed off. That looked like a nasty fall as he came down. Aaron Reed, he get clobbered. Oh, he's straight back to his feet and happy to move back into position. Sale trying to make the most of their possession. Somehow kept the ball in field. Here's Van Rijn. And there should be some space out if they can move the ball quick enough. Look at the numbers here in orange. Du Preez to Reed to Roebuck. Quinn scrambling well. But once more, quick possession. Du Preez did nicely to his brother. Here's Cowan-Dickey. A poker for George, trundling onwards, trying to shake off Green. Can he get the ball down? Oh, yes, he can.
Oh. That is a sensational finish. When does a prop ever get through the middle of the pitch? Waits for the offload.
Stewart, on-field decision.
There's Cunningham South, who's being buffeted in the tackle. Slips it away, though, and Smith looks to give them some breathing space. Carpenter in the backfield. Roebuck now. Good tackle from Northmore. Ford, wide, Du Preez. Murley chasing across. Poker for Jaw. Good footwork to get past two. And a third and a fourth. A poker for Jaw, just storming it into the 22. Incredible break. With an advantage now as well. Rod whips it out. Here's Tom Curry. Carpenter.
Tackle! Let go, Quins! Move back.
5 metres out. Sale all set up for Curry! So effective in the end. A relatively simple finish for the big open side, but...
And trying to get a kick to compete, get the ball back, or kicking desperately long to try and reserve some of that energy source.
Brilliantly taken by Carpenter.
Yeah, it's a great kick, but really well taken.
Ford to Van Rijn. You can just see the blue shirts assembling in great big numbers to the left, and there aren't enough white ones to cope with it all.
Sorry, lad.
O'Flaherty goes beyond the 10-metre line. Saints having to box clever in defence.
What they can't afford to do is lose two people on the ground at tackles. So they'll run out of numbers on the outside.
It's opening up a little bit for Bedlow, again to the 10-metre. Bevan Rod through the middle of the ruck. Held by Coles. And they want that. Pollock wants it.
It's tough on him.
Just waiting for Hamish Smales to confirm the steal. Cross-field, they go via the boot. That's brilliant from Curry. And Sailor in for their second. Tom Roebuck this time. And 13-man Northampton just can't hold the line.
Well, they're always going to get done on the width. As soon as Sale were able to get that ball, there's a question mark over whether it should have been a penalty for the competition on the floor. But how good is the trajectory of this kick? Absolutely perfect.
That's what they choose to use here. Andrews sets it up. Curry. Dugdale. John. Thomas sweeping around to the left is Ford, injecting the pace. Reeds, poking tackle from Davis. Big clean out on Louis Brown. McElroy cutting back. Sale again, tensed and poised and ready. Thomas, Ford, neat handling to Maasi White. Angles of running, so cutting. Thomas caught at the base. Neild came through on him. Ford, oh, the box kick, cross kick. Oh, how about that? He's a magician. The sorcerer of Salford. How on earth has he done that? Carpenter scorches in to finish it brilliantly, but George Ford is playing with X-ray vision.
That was brilliant to watch, with the wind as well.
It's not just this one landing on Max Clark. Controls on the instep, gets away from O'Flaherty. It's a scrappy old affair, this. Second Northern Derby of the league season, illustrated by that forward pass from Cam Neild. And now Sale can apply some pressure. Ford moving it wide. Roebuck sizing up Callum Chick and Sammy Arnold. Cuts inside Chick. McDonald can't get him. Arnold can't get him. Lovely pass to Carpenter. That is caviar. Tom Roebuck taking names again. Rob du Preez applies the finish, but that was all about the 6'3" Sale thoroughbred on the wing.
He had absolutely no right to do what he did there. He was tackled 3 or 4 times in that play. And as he showed last week when he scored his first try for England at the Principality, he is so strong on the ball. He is so good on his feet.
The Bears with their own tap and go show. Where does this take them? Harding whipped away. Williams is giving it away. And O'Flaherty, a long, long way to go. He's got to beat Lane. Ball back inside. Quirk back to O'Flaherty. It is turning out to be one of those nights for Sale. One of the greatest nights for these Sharks in the Premiership. They've come to a flying Bristol and downed them. And how they've downed them.
Oh, it's stunning. Again, this try comes from a read of what Bristol were doing last week, that ability to play out of the back with the blind pass.
The side who scored more tries than anyone off first phase possession get this, well, at least they should have done. But there's the first line-up they've lost tonight, and it was a big one, and it was impressively Joe Owen who got there first of all. Ravovo takes it in. Worsley quickly, but just count the orange shirts. Sam Bedlow, former Bristolian, amongst them. 2 props doing what they can to slow things down. Rod and a poker for Jaw. Randall to Harding. Harding, oh, given away in more ways than one. And Ben Curry with the score. And those rock and roll showbiz passes that were lighting up Welford Road a week ago are costing Bristol tonight. Local voices raised to aid the defensive effort. Johnny Hill. Quirk thinks about a second and really important tackle made. Curry's digging away. Cow and Dickey got a lot of blue and white shirts to go through. Du Preez has got his hands on the ball. Off he goes. Running into Ravovo and his mates. Van Rijn waits, but it's behind him. Quickly over the top. Tom Roebuck. Oh, Sale, what are they doing here at Ashton Gate? 2 tries to the good.
Oh, that's that power game, isn't it? Still mentioned the swinging, because that plays into Bristol's hands, so what can they do from this?
Cow and Dickey plucked out of the air by Ernst van Rijn under his white scrum cap. Cow and Dickey where you'd expect him to be. Viliami Mata keeping a close eye on him. He was first off the base, but look at Quirk. Quirk's gone. He thinks he's wearing a Bristol shirt. He's wearing a Sale one, and Rafi Quirk reminding us all of what he is all about.
What a brilliant start from Sale and that young man. And that's the X factor he possesses. When you get a bouncing ball or something that just stops you off the back of a line out, look at him. He knows where he wants to go. He's a little fumble off the right foot, accelerates.
Mega threat when things are tight, when you need something. Big boots to fill.
So it was wild and windy here in Salford tonight. The rain has intensified now, which might not help the spectacle, potentially. Big shot in the midfield from Tua, but the ball is loose and it's been swept up here. And they're racing forward through Carpenter. Reed to his left. Carpenter doesn't need him. Outstanding finish from the Sale fullback. Sweeping up a loose ball and pouncing to excellent effect.
Absolutely excellent from the Sale fullback, Joe Carpenter. He's been really good this year. It's so often the case of first phase when the ball breaks down on a blitz defence. It can disorientate you. It can have players out of sequence, shoot through the line too far, and I think Carpenter does.
For so long there were question marks over the long-term Great fitness of Luke Cowan-Dickie as Sale pull forwards again inside the 22. Can they find that clinical finishing now? Quirk, delay on the ball. Curry tears onwards, offloads nicely to du Preez. Bevan Rod shot down low by Jenkins. Curry again gets the ball away somehow, and Sale working this nicely, working forwards through James and over the line for the first try of the night. Quality work from the Sale Sharks after a stuttering start. They found the handling, kept changing that point of attack, and Luke James on target.
Yeah, lovely from Sale Sharks. Finally a bit of continuity. Rafi Quirk just using his pods of forwards to get advantage line. Little delay. That's what
Andrews looks the likeliest. It was meant for him. That's been lost on as Clare tried to gather it up. Curry. War. Fun Rain thumps it in. Oh, and a Poku for jaw. Straight down the middle. His first ever Premiership try. It has been some week for the newly installed England international and now Premiership try scorer. Asher Opoku for jaw.
Well, anyone who saw this guy burst onto the scene with the under-20s will recognise this pace and acceleration. It's a good initial.
Opoku for jaw. Sale have the advantage. The prize of something much more enticing. Curry tried to go on his own. I wonder whether Opoku for jaw might be the next one. Du Preez held up just short. War lets it go. Bevan Rod gave it one more thrash, having scored in the first half. With the advantage, so Ford can give it a go here. Flicked over the top. Beautifully taken, and a second for Reid, and he's got 2 in 7 second half minutes.
Such a simple game. When you're that close to the line, hammer away at the line, but you have to have halfbacks who have the vision but also the authority to see when the opposition get too narrow in defence, trying to...
Replying to Nicky Smith's first score for Leicester. Ford away by Curry, and that's nicely done by du Preez, held on to it to pick out Cowan-Dickie. Smith over the ball quickly, and then he has to give up wisely. Curry, and then Ford, and Opoku for jaw runs into Parisi, who works really hard to hang on to him. Kata was there as well. Oh, and then the burst all of a sudden, and Sale have got a whole cavalry across on this left-hand side, and Carpenter and Reid. Little over a minute into the second half, and Aaron Reid on the end of a really lovely looking chain.
That's a great finish, but I think Leicester have been told to come out hard defensively and win that physical battle that Ugo was talking about, but you have to go together. Van Poortvliet flies out of the line ahead of others.
Curry's not far off, so expect this to be driven, and
more.
Curry then comes in.
Say more. Advantage, collapsing by 5.
Penalty against Mance. Sale advantage, flicked off the floor nicely by Andrews.
You've got advantage, Gus.
Du Preez, Ford, Roebuck coming in, and battle for the ball. It's loose, on we go. Roebuck still has it, still skipping and hoping. War gets it away, and then the try scored. Luke James flicking it away to the 100th time man. As a Shark, Dan du Preez with the try.
When they went up for the ball in the air, there's no clear knock on.
Oh, that's a brilliant response from Sale. First real application of pressure, go for the drive, they get the penalty, good defence.
Earlier this week, preparing for battle with the All Blacks and the Wallabies, the South Africans, the Japanese, all those that are visiting the Allianz Stadium at Twickenham over the next few weeks. Live on TNT Sports, of course, all the home unions in action France and Argentina and
Carnage.
Italy.
Turn across landing.
Big old drive here from the Sale pack. Needing to start sending a message or two that the aggression is still there, that the intent and the purpose is still there.
Release the ball on the floor, balls here.
Beaumont, driven back by Van Veek.
The best taking the penalty here. You kick it to 5 metres out. Now how good their line-out maul is.
Du Preez to the line. Curtis, flat ball on the bounce. Carpenter did brilliantly. Addison will gather.
What do I know?
That is a fine, fine finish. If Will Addison has made that happen, extraordinary work from Carpenter to get.
Dozen phases here for Sale. A pocket for Dure. Ben Curry's down and hurt off the ball. Away to the right, out of picture. Gingerly getting back to his feet. There he is. Bottom of your picture, bottom right. Sale continuing to batter away at this Newcastle threshold. Be some bruised Falcons bodies out there. Beaumont's. Good shot coming in from Chick. Lined up Josh Beaumont. Du Preez sticks it on the toe. Roebuck will rise. He'll take sensationally and score. King of the skies. And Sale, king of the north.
Well, we spotted early on in the game how narrow Newcastle are, which makes the last defender's job on the crossfield kick almost impossible. But how about this? You've lost a game, but this is their normal for them, and how do they get out of that? It is very, very soul-destroying.
Sale looking to inflict more pain. Bedlow ruptures them through the middle. The hands are slick. Roebuck 1v1. What a step! Sends Ben Stevenson halfway back to Newcastle. Tom Roebuck, Predatory, Sale ruthless.
Well, it's an amazing finish at the end, but beautifully created in the midfield by the pass from Du Preez. But lovely little break, just that right foot step and accelerate out the back door.
And Du Preez up and under across the pitch. Newcastle's defence tested, but wonderful take from Sam Stewart, who was defending out wide. Lamire.
Yeah, using our place.
24 league matches without a victory for Newcastle. They wait for a win away from Kingston Park even longer. November 2022 against Gloucester. The last win on the road. 700 days. Carpenter, that's magnificent. Over the top beautifully to Reid. One-on-one with Radwan. This will be interesting, and Reid makes it. It was the foot race we've dreamed of. Teed up by magnificence from Joe Carpenter. Reid's got himself a double.
Oh, fantastic from Carpenter on his 50th. A little bit of backspin on the ball as he drops it onto his toe. Just means that it dies and sits up perfectly for him.
Kevin Dickey's got 3 tries to his name already. Newcastle haul it down illegally. Ward digs it out. Rob du Preez, Carpenter eyeing up Stevenson, then burrows between 2 grey jerseys. Takes a third to haul him to deck. Dummy in the drive from Will Addison. Scored the first try here in Salford all those years ago when they moved stadiums. War. Kevin Dickey pulling it back. Bedlow. He's the crash bang midfielder. War again. Van Rijn. Rob du Preez. Unorthodox. Reid on his bootlaces. He's got gas. Far too much gas. From a standing start, Aaron Reid scorches Falcons' fingertips. And Sale pounds first.
It's a quality score. So much variation in how they attack the line. Whether that was the initial pick and go, the little pull-back ball behind Ben Curry's back. But here as it comes back.
Next time it's a free kick. Okay, next time it's
a little bit slow for Luke Pearce's liking. The players going out, having a little huddle.
Something referees have been instructed to be very hot on this season. Luke Pearce, one of the best at doing so, at stopping that slowing down of the play. Du Preez, what a line from Tom Roebuck. Men streaming through the middle. Gus War under the sticks. And boy, have the Sharks found their teeth now.
Well, Bedlow has been superb this year. His carrying gives such a good platform. If he wins the collision, everything else is so much easier. It's a really good try, but all comes off that initial carry from Bedlow. Then they can get round the corner, and none of the Gloucester defenders can get round the corner because they're having to run back to it. That creates a transition on the outside. You can see
I'd like you to come into the line out quicker, please.
it's Clement that gets pulled out. He's in the guard position, but no one comes to relieve him on the inside, but he has to go. There's the big carry.
Bedlow. War, quick ball. Not a lot of blue out there, but Reeds takes out two, finds the offload to Addison.
No tackle on his shoulder, no foul play.
War again to Cowan-Dickey, 4 metres out. This is what Sale call the kill zone. This is where they look to find their attacking muscles. And that...
Sorry, play with some width now. Gloucester very narrow defensively.
Roebuck's lurking wide. The bounce pass, outfoxes Gloucester, and Roebuck skates home. Much more like it from Sale Sharks.
Well, really smart try. Starts with a wonderful break, with the ball back inside to Reed. Perfectly executed, pick off the defenders, open up the gap in the transition between the back of the scrum.
Maybe from Jamie George. Guys are going to be careful here. They're trying to stand up physically, but be super careful. You've won the match. Last thing you want to do now is get sent off or bin, or injure someone for that matter.
80th minute. Again, Bamba.
Thank you.
Computer screen in front of me tells me that Bamba's only made 4 carries. I'm sure he'd have made more than that, but anyway. Either way, he's been prominent. Du Preez, Carpenter. Oh, he's got away from the tackle of Elliott, and the ball to O'Flaherty, and O'Flaherty will score. Despite the best efforts of Fergus Burke. Tom O'Flaherty, in his 100th Premiership game, has another Premiership try.
That's all good.
There's the break. They've played some nice rugby, haven't they, when they've had to? Lovely.
So Cowan-Dickey for Sale, knowing they've got to make this count.
Tackle!
Lots of Tigers' bodies coming pouring through. Van Rijn again for the Sharks. Bevan Rods, inch by inch here, Sale. Cowan-Dickey, Curry to Curry, Ford, and a lovely loop play. Here is Rob du Preez, and the post has taken out one of the Tigers' players. Rob du Preez has got the score for Sale. That's all they're concerned about. They're back in this, right back in it.
Time's off.
There's Andre Pollard, who's come off.
Same ball again, simple to the front, going for the power. They're trying to roll it infield. Chiefs have committed towards a touchline. Sale have rolled left, flying forward now.
Brought down. So it's orange jerseys who have it still. McIntyre sizes up the bodies before him, goes the other way. A little bit of deception there from the big man. Another advantage. These penalties are starting to mount.
Use it.
With the penalty at worst, the chance to release the handbrake on this dumpster truck of a rolling maul and the ensuing haymakers.
Still short, ball's there, lead.
Chop short. Again, Sale will come. Need this.
Still advantage
Up
for
against
offside.
the ropes at the moment, but still with the advantage to flex. Gus War happy to let the big men do the work. And it's Luke Cowan-Dickey at a ground he used to call his own, who breathes a little bit of oxygen.
Really good steal.
Enough to catch the eyes of Steve Porthwick. He was in camp last week at Penny Hill, as was Ford. O'Flaherty, numbers here. Sale have to make something of this. Rafi Quirk still going. The clear out from Ben Curry. His heat map ferocious as ever. Opoku Forjaw, casual, Ford. O'Flaherty completely stationary before dancing past a couple. Cowan-Dickey isolated. du Preez.
Nice little pick up that from a big man. Out the back, this is getting loose now.
Opoku Forjaw with a run up and flexing it to devastating effect. Quirk finds Hill. Doesn't want this to be his last outing in orange. Ford against the grain and Reed is through. Reed will put it on a plate for Rod. A slam dunk of a score and a slam dunk of a celebration too.
I called it live, I was in line.
I'll tell you what, when it starts getting loose, actually these balls getting chucked and rolled out the back, they are loose. But Sale know that there are no Chiefs players there, so they're not as unsafe as all that. It's calculated risk. It all starts
for the fourth try. The biggest numbers they've packed in all season tonight. Such are the stakes. McIlroy to the tail. Lovely delivery from Johnny Hill. Quirk, massy right!
Tell you what, that is one of the best scores off a line-out you will see. It's the most simple thing in the world, but it is purely about everyone getting their timing spot on. The throw, right on Johnny Hill where he wants it, straight off the top, exactly where Quirk wants it, who takes it.
Hanging on here, Tig McIlroy at the back of this maul. Lahif tries to cling on to him. In comes Grondona. Over the ball goes now Lango. It's there for Johnny Hill. And now Asher Opoku Forjaw. Cut down low by Fitzharding. James Dunn thought he had it for a minute. Here's Dan du Preez.
Dunn wasn't supporting his body weight. He got away with it.
Bristol penalised. Here's Johnny Hill. Gets over. What a drive. What hunger, what intensity there from Johnny Hill. He's brought the Salford Community Stadium to its feet.
He's been so good on the pick and go, Johnny Hill. But it's about the speed of reaction and the penalty that's given away. Pat Lamb's just said, let's not give away any penalties, but it's that new law.
McGinty then up off the floor and sending it into the arms of Roebuck. Here is Jean-Luc du Preez again. Opoku Forjaw, Ford, Roebuck waiting, looking to come in late. Batley read it. Through the middle, Dan du Preez skipping through the challenge as well. And Opoku Forjaw continues the motion. Van Rijn straightens really well. Jean-Luc du Preez, Gus War, in comes Ravovo. Once again, all the lights flashing for the Bristol Bears. Is Johnny Hill. Surely they have to score here. McIlroy. Nothing less than he deserves. He's been everywhere tonight, carrying hard, supporting every which way, and now he's got a score.
A little bit of a scuffle here, but good mix to Sale's play. The burst through the middle from the... I don't know whether any of the Bristol players have noticed that Rich Lane's down injured, so they have no one in behind at the moment. If George Ford or Rob du Preez spots it, there's an opportunity here for a little kick over the top. Only one sweeper in behind, and that's Ibatoya.
Here's Opoku Forjaw, offloading nicely. War, du Preez, Ford's kick pass, taken by Carpenter. Going to need some support here. Does well to ship it on to O'Flaherty.
He was about to get dragged into touch. He wasn't having it. Great offload.
Rich Lane still down and stricken on this touchline. Ford, du Preez, Curry. Now then, 3-on-1. Heads into that space, frees it up for du Preez. Dan du Preez in the corner for Sale. And all that pressure eventually yielding points.
What a try and what a finish. Albeit, as we said, Rich Lane down injured. There's some great bits in here. First of all, that Bristol defence. This is the huge carry. Boko for sure takes out 2 Bristol defenders.
Dangle tantalisingly in front of Sharks' noses. Bamba. And then Curry to Cowan-Dickie, and Roebuck runs into Catter and Hassel-Collins. But this is a very handy position. Opoku for Jaw. War. Leicester offside. Ben Bamba not far away. Ford. Oh, and the try scored by Rob du Preez. Orange efficiency close to Leicester's try line over this opening 40 minutes. They have been clinical.
Well, it might just turn out to be the defining moment of the game, the kick from Ford.
Cowan-Dickie's throwing wasn't spot on, to be fair, but they've had a good line-out percentage this year.
Taken by Hill. Sale have spent all week talking about the start, getting it right physically, mentally, making sure that they set down the earliest of markers. Here's their early opportunity. That'll do. That will do. That's what they talked about, and they have executed.
Cowan-Dickie stayed down a little bit there. Hopefully he'll be able to run that off. Looks like his knee, but Rob du Preez is the man that creates this try. Leicester have got them stuck. Now du Preez will come in here and hit Chesham and keep rotating Leicester's defence away.
It's still just writing, but it's completely different, so...
Yeah, invariably illegible. Here's Bamba for Sale. Bearing down on the try line again. Things looking ominous for Quins. Close to the line they go, beyond the line they go, and that looks like another score. Harlequins having to absorb some very difficult lessons this afternoon. Sale's power, clear for all to see. Sale immediately with a shot. Right at the start of this second half, here's Cowan-Dickie. Just short of the line. Bevan Rod is waiting, it won't reach him. They've got their 5th, and it's Johnny Hill. And they've started this second half as they mean to go on. Can they make the most of it? 4 minutes to go to half-time. And Cowan-Dickie might just get his reward here for all that work, for all that chase. Quinn's holding them well, but there might be some work on that far side here. Johnny Hill sets off to Preer and Rod with the clear out.
No lift, you're off your feet.
Opoku for Jaw, looks up, drives on there, 3 meters away.
No, don't play the ball.
Cowan-Dickie looking to bulldoze through Cunningham South. Van Rijn now. They've got so many heavy carriers. Sale will try and do this the hard way. Du Preez, lovely handling. Bamba's not far away. In goes Kenningham. Opoku for Jaw to Curry. Swivels! No try for Tom Curry for 2 years until today for his club. Right, Sharks in meaningful territory here, and the line out is good.
Advantage too late with the sack.
Secured by Hill. They've got the penalty, and now they get the drive on as well. Cowan-Dickie at the forefront of this. Over the line. Matthew Carley unsighted.
This is unreal power if he's got to the line.
Well in whack. Stu, come to you.
Again to Hill in the middle of the line out. In comes Jean-Luc du Preez, and a little bit of extra support from Rob du Preez. Gus Waugh's got eyes on the ball, seemingly. I think it's with Bevan Rod here. Northampton can't hold them. They're over. Bevan Rod, 100 appearances for the Sale Sharks, and the bonus point tonight against the defending champions.
They get it set up really well from Hill's jump. The way Hill lands makes a perfect platform that they can all bind into. Just watch this.
They're on 21 carries, starved of the ball.
War into the midfield comes Bedlow. That's the trademark carry up the middle from the big man. Du Preez. War, who's enjoying what's happening at the base at the moment. Carpenter siding through, space opening up. Roebuck in for his second. Utterly ruthless from the Sharks. They are seizing the moment here. Saints undergunned and Roebuck flying.
I'm glad I highlighted the wingers before the game, because these Sale wingers are flying at the moment, but it's their intricacy and...
Sale building nicely. Ford on the loop, gathering it, trying to draw in the defenders. O'Flaherty, 5 metres away. Nice pick-up by Van Rijn. Advantage here for the Sharks. Bedlow wrestling onwards. War to Ford and wide. What a ball that is. What a step from Roebuck. Plenty to do here to finish. Feeds it back wisely. Back to the short side. Oh, yes! Tom O'Flaherty. Fleet of foot. And sharp of hand as well. That's a great finish. And it's nothing less than the Sharks deserve, you'd feel.
It's going to tell you what, this took some scoring. Good defence from Northampton. But Ford fires it out, and Roebuck knows him inside out, and he knows that.
It's a big part of the analysis that Steve Borthwick will do every week on England's opposition will be who's the man in the middle, what their trends are, how they're seeing the game these days. McElroy to Hill, and an opportunity for Sale to wrap up this bonus point score.
No change, Cal.
McElroy in there, Roebuck's in there as well. Down the narrow side they go, and McElroy plunges over. Sale flex their muscles, and the bonus point is pocketed.
Yeah, you got a sense as soon as George Ford kicked to the corner there. We've spoken throughout the game how strong they are, the best team in the Premiership from driving.
Rallying the troops, sounding the battle cry down pitch side. Have they got the fluency to open up a serious lead before the break? Forward to Ben Curry, to Maasi White. Carpenter, right up the middle he goes, bursting through the heart of Newcastle. Lamar hunting for the steal, couldn't get it. What hands that is! Oh, George Ford's electric. 2 phases. Tom O'Flaherty's in, but have a look at this seed ball from George Ford. Just majestic.
Yeah, it's always pretty special, isn't it, when you go through on first phase ball and look at the execution here. Everyone flat to the line. Execution, brilliant hands from Ben Curry. The support, and they got the turnover. In those situations, sometimes you just got to, it's a bit of hit or bust. Exactly what they did.
Oh, Gus Ward just has his coattails clung onto by Brocklebank. It's the second time Ward's found space in behind those shooting Newcastle defenders. Jean-Luc du Preez, he's the Sale enforcer.
Good job.
Bevan Rods, short and hard. Really pushing to get himself back in that England matchday 23. Du Preez and Ford, the twin playmakers, and Roebuck searing through the middle. Ward's with him. Roebuck throws the dummy, then looks for Ward. Newcastle get there and slow it up. Still Sale possession. Ernst van Rijn, 6 metres out the Sharks. Johnny Hill. War. Ford pulling it back. Rob du Preez. Bevan Rod's got wheels. Bevan Rod's got a V8 engine. A crash bang wallop finish from the rampaging Lucid. He might have done himself a mischief in the process, but he's trampled Newcastle into the rubber crumb pitch.
And that really is how to execute and craft a score, isn't it? Brilliant work in midfield, initially by George Ford. Create the space, just straighten up on the pass.
Onasanya waits. and the two young props combine. Miles Reid making life difficult. Bath still managing to put their shoulder to the wheel here. Just as important to deny points as it is to score their own. Francois Van Veek, the latest to stem the flow. Thomas waits, out it comes. Addison with a little jink and dart. Rob du Preez has it and sends it wide. Clattering tackle that Carpenter somehow finds a way through despite some ferocious defending, and again the tempers are flaring. But Carpenter setting up the opportunity for Rob du Preez to bank at least a losing bonus here today. To the tail, to du Preez. Slow but steady this from Sale. War, Addison, du Preez, Carpenter, O'Flaherty on the chase. O'Flaherty has it, took it brilliantly, full of intent. A metre out and diving through is Rob du Preez. Opportunistic stuff in the corner from the Sale captain. And Sharks looking sharp.
That's a lovely kick through from Carpenter. They don't get the go forward on the ball that they're hoping for. Quite slow to set up that ball, but they break out. A good position for them. This is what they want inside the 22. You imagine Bath have done a lot of first phase research watching Sale this week.
Clear on the floor.
Hyron Andrews, the South African, reaching up to gather it in.
Okay, use it now, please.
The drive has been halted. Here's Marcy White, and Ajomo goes really low.
Ball's out.
Bath waiting and anticipating this punishing run from Dugdale. Look at the way Reid has driven his way through defensively there. War, du Preez, Marcy White. Again, some strong defensive work from Ajomo. Here's du Preez again. Up to within 5 metres. McIntyre feeds it back. Here's Dugdale, holds it back nicely. Du Preez to Reid. Here's the finisher. Brilliant. Took a bit of doing. But you have to admire this guy's footwork and nose for the line. It's special.
Oz was just saying how he loves it when he watches Sale spread the ball a bit wide.
Laid it back for War, who got smoked. Still alive for Dan du Preez. Wilgriff John. War plays, hits Josh Beaumont, who's making very good headway. Towering second row forwards. War quickly there. Cowan Dickey again with another charge. Now they'll shift it wide. Du Preez, Carpenter, Luke James, must be for Roebuck. Oh, that's a stunning finish. On the dive, almost subterranean. Tom Roebuck, stop, drop, roll, try.
It's a great long pass from Rob du Preez. Can't help but feel George Barton, the Gloucester replacement, just didn't need to come. Watch how far he comes inside. He's completely lost on. He's on the wrong defender there.
Tension and anxiety hang in the air at a cold and darkening Kingsholm. Luke Cowan-Dickey with West Country Jeers, the soundtrack. Beaumont, drill not quite right, but he has got it back to Cowan-Dickey now, and this time Luke Cowan-Dickie will not be stopped. Much more like it from Sale. Not for them, the attacking elan of Gloucester. They prefer Route 1 physicality.
Josh Beaumont does really well to get that ball down again, and could have been done too. It's quite naive there from Gloucester. I get they're trying to stop the try, but you don't want to lose. It's been big 10 minutes after when we get into the second half for Gloucester now.
Clock in the Reds. Gloucester down to 14. Sale have the try they craved. The try they needed. The try that might just apply the defibrillators to a flatlining first half performance. And it's the captain, Ben Curry, who's provided that blow.
Yeah, Sale got the try. They're deservedly so too. They've had 5-6 mauls. Goes at it now. They're a good team, Sale. You can't keep them out forever.
Cowan-Dickie again from inside the field, we understand. Johnny Hill taking it up, and Cowan-Dickie poised, looking for Sale's third of the night. It seems inevitable. They're over the line, they've got the score, and Anthony Woodthorpe's heading under the posts for a penalty try. Chiefs bringing them all down, and there'll be a yellow card to follow as well.
Dafford Jenkins, Ali, I think.
That he enjoyed, we enjoyed a few years back.
He's got to stay fit. I hope he gets a run of games. Here you are, Nick. Look away now.
More.
Taken by Andrews. Sale pressing for what would be a sick try, surely a winning try. And another try for the little tear-away hooker. Luke Cowan-Dickie doing it for England, doing it for his club.
It's just so simple in the end, isn't it? I don't think they get their setup spot on. They're a little bit high, but Tommy Raffel there, it's his rear studs. As long as his foot's in touch, it doesn't matter.
When he throws it, he wasn't in touch. He's got his studs lifted. Oh, come on, Benny. I love you, but we're going to fall out over this. Anyway, it matters not.
Say more.
Oh, Sale breaking away with Cowan-Dickie. And then the acceleration, and then the drive for the line of the score. And Cowan-Dickie leads the celebrations as Bevan Rod gets up.
Well, he had a slightly tough start, gave away that penalty, and then a couple of scrums went away from him. At the 20-minute mark, Bevan Rod has got right into this game. Cowan-Dickie, no one at home for Leicester, spots it.
Feigning one way and then fading with the pass beautifully.
Exactly the same penalty that Northampton gave away in the first.
Cowan-Dickie wasn't too far away. Pearson came in with a meaty challenge in the nick of time. Sale playing with an advantage. Here's Bedlow. Naithalevu is riding alongside him. War fishing it out. And du Preez goes to work from close range. Fun rain. Hendy folds himself underneath all of that. And the Sharks are going to work hard to find a way back, but find a way through they do. And Joe Carpenter scores at the start of this second period for the Sharks. A little bit of defiance, a little bit of character, and a little bit more muscle.
Well, the first target is that 4-try bonus point. They will have talked about Northampton's motivation in the second half, whether it's as strong as the first.
Aaron Andrews leaps highest for the Sharks, and Cowan-Dickie, who's so lethal from this sort of range, rumbles to the line, and Sale have one back.
It's a really, really good drive. Northampton will be devastated with their defence there. They were in trouble as soon as it got set up, started to get the edge on, and then the cavalry arrived from a Sale perspective with all the backs joining in, but by that stage they were rumbling to the line and there was an air of inevitability. Just watch the set here, how easy.
An attacking ploy would you have up your sleeve? Do you go for them at scrum time, or do you try and use
first
that
off,
extra man?
yes, partly because even if you don't get them going, to get that right shoulder up, get Harper up on your tight head side, take the back row away, and Curry can potentially break. They've won the penalty, they've got a free shot, so he'll flick it up and they'll play.
Ward to Addison, punching straight through the middle. That's the bonus points. And fittingly, it's one of Sale's longest serving players who brings it up. Will Addison, the try scorer, Sale cruising.
That's a really tight attack from Sale, and it's just about flat decoy runners, not a particularly complicated move, just that flat decoy runner and then the ball in behind.
Competing with the likes of George Furbank, Freddie Stewart for that 15 jersey over the coming seasons. Sale again camped on Newcastle's front lawn, and this maul is on roller skates so far. Crabbing their way infield, Cowan-Dickey, did he ground it?
Hold.
If Callum Chick's held that up, he needs some medals.
So telling me that's a clear collapse by Gray. So without that going down by Gray, I believe Blue would have scored. So thinking penalty try. Have you got the number who took it down?
Sale throw to the tail, and Bamber collects. And then they disguise it down the short side, Reeds through the dummy, and then the pass for Cowan-Dickey. Back in the England squads, and back scoring Gallagher Premiership tries.
Oh, I think if Cowan-Dickey hadn't scored this, he might have gone over to Aaron Reed and said, why didn't you give it earlier? It's a really good set-piece move. The sweep back, and they just overload that short side with numbers. And the pace of Aaron Reed, he thought they were going to turn early and
stunted his Sharks career and England aspirations. Gus Worth done a fine job in the meantime. Sale now on the bonus point trail.
One stop!
And the maul is their weapon of choice. Cowan-Dickey has it tucked under one of those big arms. Ruan Ackerman gets through on him. Where's the ball? Somehow Sale still have it. Creeping over, try given, bonus points in the bag. Slow poison for Gloucester. It seeps into their veins, and they can do little to stop that inexorable Mancunian shunt.
yeah, they thought they'd stopped it, didn't they, when the referee said that was once. They thought they'd probably done enough, but just a real menace. Maybe doesn't make quite so many big turnovers that Tom Curry does, but just a bit of everything, a bit of a Swiss Army knife player.
Breakaway!
Sale have got to play here. Moore kicks it just away. du Preez, Aaron Reed, here he goes, wind him up, watch him run, Roebuck's in for the score. From left to right, from one wing to the other, Reed times Roebuck equals try Sale.
Electric from Aaron Reed, that diagonal run across the field.
4-1. Passed on where they'd like this ball targeted.
Advantage, 17.
To Ben Bamber at the front.
It's a free kick advantage,
Working hard on this move, keeping close to each other. No seams for Saracens to burst through. No way they can stop this ball going over the line. That was watertight. All those hard bruising hours on the training pitch up at Carrington, up in Lim sometimes, perfecting that, earning 5 points here in North London.
Very nice, very nicely done. Uncontested ball, Saracens stay down, but if you look, they got two guys on this side, Saracens, who are quite high. They kind of work.
Backwards off Saracens.
Here is McIntyre.
I thought he did brilliantly well there to retrieve the ball and stay on the pitch. They've got a chance to attack now, particularly if they come wide. They're tight, Sarries, on this side.
Well done.
Delayed pass from War to pick out Dugdale. His 50th Premiership game today. There's phases in the match, this, and this is Robert du Preez. skipping through, and then Bedlow straight through the middle, up to Gus Moore, and Moore scores. Through the guts, Sale Sharks, first try of the afternoon.
The time Sale Sharks have looked the best so far have been when they've been very, very direct indeed. Playing deep and around hasn't worked for them. Playing over the top hasn't been tried yet. Through the middle's working. A horrible moment for Elliot Daly. He's set off before he's got control of the ball.